Alright, so I got an update on my big batteries. So right now I'm pulling 5 kilowatts almost. Running the hybrid heat pump, hot water, electric hot water tank. My furnace on high mode because I run the fan all the time. So that should be pulling about 500. It should be pulling more. Anyway, it's not demanding as much water, I think is what it is. I think it's actually pulling about 4.4 for the hot water tank and 400 for the furnace. And normally we're on low mode and it pulls 136. But, and then another 150 for something else, maybe pressure tank. Anyway, I have been talking with RC from BigBattery.com, not BigBattery.ca. So I'm in Canada, in Alberta, and I got these 3 batteries in a while ago, like a year and a bit ago. Finally getting the power of the build put up together, and I put a post out there saying don't buy these big batteries until there's more review on them. I was not impressed. The reason I was not impressed is I did not get very good instructions, information, tech support from BigBattery.ca, because BigBattery.ca is not BigBattery.com. They are just a retailer then they're able to sell big batteries. This is what RC is telling me, so he's right on track. He's been with their company for 4 years. He knows what he's doing. He worked with battery development, building them, and then he moved into tech support and customer service because he can actually help people when you give him a call. So you can actually get a connection. I will be sharing his phone number to be able to chat with him. If you're having any issues, give him a call. Like, he wants to work through with us. So I'm very happy. I'm still frustrated that BigBattery.ca is doing what they're doing. Now, here's also, I think I said that, possibly I mentioned before, that Solar Kit Depot it's the same company or whatever. It's a different name. Maybe they're getting rid of the name BigBattery.ca and they're going to Solar Kit Depot. They do have other batteries under that Solar Kit Depot, like Lion and some SOKs, which I'm a fan of. A few other things, but don't go there for technical support. You may talk to their tech guy on their chat line, Shayan Khan, SHAYANKHAN. There's a bunch of issues there. I'm going to be having discussions, possibly legal issues, for ill advertising of what he said. Sorry, I'm doing some tech checking right now. There we go. We're getting some pull. I wasn't getting a balanced pull, which is really frustrating. And I'm working with RC on this. See, this guy's not pulling the amps. Trying to get the balances going. So 52.58. These guys were at 52.8. They were all running at the same percentages. Like I'm at 68. Sorry, I'm jumping track on my mindset. They should be pulling from all 3, and they won't. It's really frustrating. 2 want to work together, and then 1 doesn't. Before, it was this one not working together. These 2 were working together really well. And RC was telling me that it's not enough amperage being drawn and not enough big draw. So I cranked up my hot water tank to 150 to make it draw, because we typically run it at that's nice and refreshing. We had like a 28 degrees Celsius day today. That feels good. That's some cold air. I'm going to be piping this into my duct system to blow cooled air. Whenever the heat pump runs, it'll blow that cold air up through the what the hell? It's like 11 o'clock at night. The air duct system, indoor air system to cool the house. But yeah, I turned this puppy up to 140 and I turned it on to high demand, so it is running the electrics right now and the heat pump. So I've had it running up to like 5,500 watts before, but I've already got it up to about 140. It's 2/3 full at 140 degrees, so I don't think it's running as hard because it doesn't need to run as hard to get up that final point. And yeah, this is what I was, for other guys who've seen what I was doing, this is my airport that runs out to outside. I just disconnected it so I get that cold air in the house now to cool our house when it's super hot. So anyway, got that cranked up. I'm pulling lots of power there. I got my furnace, should be on. That's weird. Maybe it's not turned on. No, that's right. The power was off. I could still access my control panel, but I didn't turn it back on. Anyway, I'm rambling. You guys know my YouTubes. So yeah, BigBattery.com is fantastic. BigBattery.ca said yes, that these are certified for Canadian use, meaning like CUL listed. Well, they're not. These are not anywhere in Canada. You should not be passed by what their energy regulation standards are. That these cannot be used for on-grid. Now, some people are saying they can't even be used for off-grid, but that contradicts a lot of what a lot of folk say, that off-grid is a different deal. They're not worried. The utility companies aren't worried that you're connecting up batteries that aren't certified and they're going to blow up the entire grid and all this garbage. So they're too puckered up. The States, you can hook anything up. My gosh, people are building their own batteries and hooking it up and going off-grid and all this stuff. But Canada's puckered tight. So really dig into that, and that's where the issue is, because they said yes, they're certified, and I have the documentation on that from their guys, and now I'm going to be doing my certification, and if I don't pass, these are maybe going back. They might have to deal with it because I can't use them, and that's no good to me. So RC knows about that, and yeah. Anyway, so right now these things are beasts. They're powerful. I'm not disappointed in the batteries themselves. The balancing thing, we'll get that figured out. I don't understand why it's not balancing up right. I had them balanced when I first got them. I've only done, this one's run 16 cycles. I think this one's run 13 cycles, because this one always was predominantly being used because my amperage draw was too low, so it never pulled hard enough to pull these out. And then, yeah, this one's only been run 12. So, now, as I said in my other videos, the BMSs in here are Xiaosheng, Xiaoxing app for iPhone, and that is the app you can get to control the BMS in here in deeper levels. Now, I will share that information because it has helped me get these things kind of figured out and balanced out. RC didn't mention it because there's control features inside that app that you can control the voltages, the current calculations, the voltage calculations. You can screw these batteries up like epically. You can make them fail, and if they, if you screw them up, it's on you. There's no warranty for you messing these things up. So I have the app, but I don't have it to play with the parameters or anything at. I have it for more control of what it's doing. So he helped me go in and change in the app the ability to turn off the load detect, which when load detect is turned on, it needs 3 to 4 amps for an individual battery for the battery to detect the load. When it's turned off, it's 1.5 to 2 amps of load. So if you have a 6 amp load, really light load, only 2 batteries would detect the need to load, because this would pull 4 initially, and then it's over. I still have 2 more amps to pull. The other battery would kick on, but the third battery wouldn't. So now if I have a 6 amp load, and the load detect is turned off, now it's like 1.5 to 2, so 4.5 to 6 amps would turn all 3 of them on. So he's working with the guys who build the batteries, they're tech guys, to send that as a default turned off assist feature, so that they're more sensitive and they turn on a little bit easier and stay in parallel, because that's what happened is they've come out of parallel. My voltages got too far away from each other because 2 were running and the other one wasn't. It's a whole big shit bang. Anyway, RC helped me work with this stuff. So again, I'm going to show that number. Please call him on that thing. I'm getting very happy that this is working out and this to my favor, that they're going to work. Don't bother going with BigBattery.ca. This is the only places you can get them, BigBattery.ca or Solar Kit Depot. If you're in the States, you know, this one comes up as like 5,500 in the States. Up in Canada, they're like 11,400. Hell, if I knew that, I would have drove down the States with my trailer and bought it myself down there and saved, you know, a crap ton of money. But anyway, that's right on their websites. Check all that stuff out. Transporting these is a big deal. They're lithium ion, dangerous goods. You have to have certification to be able to do that. I used to be in delivery work. It's a whole deal. You can't just drive it down in a pickup truck. You could, but bringing it across the border might be a challenge. Okay, again, I'm rambling. It's a 10-minute video. So there we go. We backed off. This guy was pulling 50 amps. This guy was pulling 50 amps. We were doing a 100 amp draw. As you saw at the start, they were at 69, 70%. And they had like 211. There we go. We pulled out 8 amps, 10 amps on each. So 20 amps of draw, just superheating up my hot water tank. Now I'm only running those few items. But this guy here, she's not waking up and just keeps going to sleep. And it hasn't drawn at all, which is really frustrating. So my parallel, I had a big draw and it still didn't play into the parallel game. So I don't know what the hell. It's bugging me. But okay, well, there you go. So far, happy with the batteries. Other than this, happy with RC, the gentleman at BigBattery.com. I will post the phone number there. Yeah, that's it. All right, sorry for rambling, but hey, you know what you get when you come to my YouTubes. Take care.